Hello, I am Coach Jim. This is Coach Care. We're with CrossFit Law, and this will be your sports day warm-up video. So for your warm-up, we're going to have a few key points we're trying to accomplish. One is to warm up. So we're going to increase the temperature of the body, internal temperature. We're going to get the blood moving a bit, get the heart rate up a little bit, and we're going to try to expose ourselves and our joints to some of the exercises and ranges of motions that we're going to want or need for the workout coming up later. So today's warm-up has 3 parts or 3 movements. We're going to do something we call cherry pickers, the SAMSON lunge, and the SPIDERMAN with the twist. So for the cherry picker, Carrie is going to get set up with wide feet, wider than her shoulders, and she's going to touch in 3 points with her hands. She's going to reach down, touch the ground by her toes. She's going to reach back between her legs, and then she's going to reach up overhead as far as she can go. That's one movement, very simple. The second movement is going to be the SAMSON lunge. So she's going to take a large lunge step forward or backwards. She's going to put her back knee down, shift her hips forward, and open up the shoulders towards the sky. She'll alternate legs on these, putting the knee down, sweeping hips forward, getting back into it. The third movement is going to be the SPIDERMAN with the twist. She's going to get in a tall plank position. So elbows are straight. Hips are in line with the shoulders. She can bring her right foot up next to her right hand. Her right elbow is going to come down to the ground. And then she's going to continue motion by sweeping up that arm overhead, getting a sweep through the spine. And then she'll simply leave her hands and switch her feet and do the same thing on the other side. There you go. There are some scaling options for these movements. The cherry pickers are pretty easy. Most everyone should be able to do them. For the SAMSON lunges, if it's hard for you to lunge, you can use an upright or a chair to support yourself while doing it. You can also get a towel or a blanket rolled up underneath your knee if that helps as well. And for the SPIDERMAN, what Carrie Ann showed, you can put your knee down on the ground while you're in that plank. We'll have her show some of those options while she goes through this. So what it's going to be is 3 rounds. We're going to do 45 seconds of each movement with a 15-second rest. So the whole warm-up will take us 9 minutes, and we'll build up to it over time. I'll start the clock. I'll keep talking you guys through it as we go. So, starting in 10 seconds, first movement is that cherry picker. That's with the wide stance of the legs. And go. So she's just going to keep moving for these 45 seconds. Not trying to go too fast. This isn't a workout. This is the warm-up. So what she's looking for is slow, controlled movement. She's going to, when she bends forward, feel those hamstrings, muscles along the back of her leg, just start to open up, right? And then she's going to compress that spine as she reaches behind her, and then she's going to extend that spine as she reaches up overhead and just start to get the shoulders warmed up. Some other things with warm-ups, we're typically looking for dynamic movement. As you can see, she's constantly moving. She's moving in and out of a stretch, not trying to push the stretch, not trying to hold the stretch. That's your rest. Okay, so we'll have 15 seconds rest, and then the next movement is going to be the SAMSON lunge. And again, you can use a towel, blanket, pillow, anything you want for support. All right, so this movement, we're starting to get the hip flexors opened up. So we'll typically exaggerate the step on this lunge. It's longer or more spread out from foot to foot than we would typically want with a regular exercise lunge. And that's just so we can start to get these hip flexors, the muscles responsible for lifting your knee up, flexing your hip. We start to get those warmed up and move through a fuller range of motion. These are also the muscles that tend to get really short and stiff because modern humans spend a lot of time sitting. So this is a good warm-up exercise to kind of counteract all that time that we spent sitting. So she'll just keep moving, and as you can see again, it's dynamic. She's not stopping. Okay, that's our rest. And the third movement will be the SPIDERMAN with the twist. That will start in that tall plank position. And again, you can put your knees down if you need to. We'll have Cara demo with her knees down for the first few reps. Lock the hands out. Put her back knee down. Whichever foot is in front, that's the hand that's moving. So if her left foot is coming in front, her left elbow is going down, her left arm is sweeping up. What you'll notice is that she always has a staggered balance position to the top. It's the opposite foot and hand that's supporting her while she touches the elbow down and twists up. This is a great warm-up. This really works on the hips. I usually find for myself, maybe kind of the outside of that forward hip that's getting stretched out. And then we're also getting a gentle twist of the spine and opening of the shoulders as you sweep up. That will be that one. Okay, that's one round done. We're going to do 3 total. So this is the rest, and then back to the cherry pickers again. As you move through subsequent rounds, you can start to find maybe some tight spots or some new ranges to move into. So you can either step a little wider, a little narrower. For this movement, you could put your toes out more, bring your toes in more. It's good to find some sticky spots in the muscles and start just working through them. And as I said, dynamic, right? So we want to move in and out of the stretch, in and out of the stretch. I like to think of that as our muscles say like a rubber band. If you have a rubber band in the freezer, you don't want to pull it out and just pull it tight until it snaps. We want to just kind of work it back and forth, back and forth. Similar with our muscles and getting warmed up for a workout. Good, good. All right, coming up to the end of this one, and it'll be that SAMSON lunge again. I find a lot with this movement that people will try to get a sticky point in the front. They'll try to shove it forward too far or pause at the front. We don't really want that. We just want moving in and out of that stretch. Another thing you'll notice as Kara does this is that with this elongated step, her knee's not really tracking in front of her toes and her heel is staying down, which is good. What we're after is the stretch, the opening up of that back hip flexor. We're not really focusing on the ankle in this movement. If we want to focus on the ankle or maybe the Achilles or the calf a little bit more, then we might keep the foot a little bit farther back. So we're dorsiflexing or moving the knee past the toes, but that's not really a priority for today. Okay, a couple seconds left of this one, and then on to the Spider-Mans. So keeping in mind this is a warm-up, we're just getting ready to do our workout. This is not the workout. So if you're maybe deconditioned or not used to training and working out, you're starting to feel tired, take a break. It's fine. Yeah, no need to make your warm-up your workout. If at any point during this workout, if you need a break, or during the warm-up you need a break, take it. What we always tell people when they get started or try out CrossFit or fitness for the first time, or are coming back to it after a long break, is to take it easy. Don't go at a 10 out of 10. Don't go full intensity. Try to stop or slow yourself down when you get to like that 7 out of 10 point. See if you can maintain that. And it's very hard if you push it too far or too hard to pull it back and be able to keep moving. So a couple seconds left here. That'll be our second round. Good. 15 seconds rest and the third round. If 2 rounds was good for you, be done now. We'll go through the third round so you can follow along if you like. I think Carrie Ann is getting warmed up. I'm getting warmed standing here. Cherry pickers, again, you can go a little wider if you want, a little narrower if that suits. Now that you're into this third round, you can start to look for some more range. Right, we don't want to start too early with that, but as we get more and more warmed up, now we can look at bending over a little bit deeper or reaching behind a little bit farther. If you notice, which is perfectly okay, Kira's got a slight bend to her knee here. That's okay. What you can also do, though, is starting to make that knee a little bit straighter, which is going to lengthen out the hamstring a little bit more. I'm just looking for some micro improvements or some small increases to the range, some slightly better way to get warmed up. And that's another thing with fitness, nutrition, health, sleep, stress, all that stuff. The way we coach here is we're not trying to get rich quick. We're not trying to go from A to Z. We're trying to go from A to B, make some micro improvements. If we can get a little bit better every day, that's going to add up big over the long time. So something to keep in mind with that. How can I be a little more fit today than I was yesterday? How can I eat a little bit better today than I did yesterday? Maybe it's just adding some more vegetables to lunch, something like that. So this is the SAMSON lunge. Same thing again. A nice, smooth, dynamic movement. One of our favorite sayings is slow is smooth, smooth is fast. When you go smooth, especially in a warm-up, you can start to feel how well the body can move, how well you can move with the body, what it's prepared to do. And when you know what it can do in a slow, smooth manner, you're going to have a pretty good idea of what it can do at a higher intensity or trying to do more repetitions or heavier weights. Last movement for the warm-up, Spider-Man with the twist, and then we'll let you go. We call this one Spider-Man because you can pretend like you're Spider-Man walking up a wall, I suppose. Same thing for this movement. She can start to find some deeper range. If you're like Karen, you can get your elbow to the ground, great. If you can't get it there, that's fine. We're just aiming for a gentle stretch. So same thing here. If the gentle stretch is halfway down your shin, go for it, that's fine. What you'll probably find is that you can buy more range as you move through it, and that's okay. We always want to work with what we got and try to build on that, rather than trying to force anything our body isn't ready for. Okay, last few seconds of this, and we are done. Okay, a big thank you to Carrie Ann for helping us out here. That is your warm-up. Should be ready to work out. This is something you probably would want to have done 10 to 15 minutes beforehand. You're ready for the workout. Best of luck with that. Remember, don't get to the point where you're feeling sick. Don't get to the point where you're feeling dizzy. It's always going to be better to take a shorter rest earlier than get to the point where you need to sit down and stop completely. Good luck. Have fun.